Hello, 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 and welcome to the Freak Show. I am Jaclyn Thurmond, and I'm here today with a solo episode, and this is based off of a blog post I wrote. So, you guys, if you have not checked out beckonliving.com and our blog, we have so many golden nuggets of amazing content in there, all geared toward raising your frequency. Some of it is mindset, some of it is podcast related. There's a lot of design stuff, how to make your home healthier, tips about making your home smell good in a non-toxic way, a wide array of things. So if you haven't checked out beckonliving.com and our blog, you are missing out. I highly recommend you go over there. Also, I need to tell my assistant this too, but we have revamped our newsletter. We're going to start sending that out with just beautiful nuggets of wisdom. And then, tips and tricks and different things that we have going on. So you guys can be abreast of all the cool things that we have happening. And so sign up for that newsletter too. I think that's in the show notes, but I'll double check. Anyways, today I want to talk to you about ways to make your home healthier. We think about health so often in terms of mental health and physical health, what we're eating, what we're putting in our bodies. But I think quite often we do not think about the health of our home, the chemicals that we're bringing in, the textiles that we're bringing in, the air that we are breathing, etc. And so I wanted to do this podcast episode highlighting 12 ways to make your home healthier. Some of these do require an investment, like an air purifier and an EMF protector. But in the meantime, if those things are beyond your current reach, which trust me, I have been there, I totally get it. I've had to save for certain things, I understand. But some of these things are very, very easy swaps and will cost as much or less than the products that you're currently buying anyways. So here we go. Let's dive in. How to make your home healthy. Actually, one more point before we dive into these 12 different suggestions. I want to say one of the main reasons I have wanted to make my home healthy is so that my nervous system can settle down and recharge and revamp and nourish itself. So nourish me when I'm at home. We go out into the world, it's busy, it's stimulating, it's loud, there's a lot going on. And we want our homes to be a sanctuary, a place of healing, a place of rejuvenation, a place of serenity. And so to me, considering these things is a very important step in allowing your nervous system to come home and relax and make you healthy. All right, so here we go. Number one, this is my number one tip, and it's investing in an air purifier. I didn't realize this, but most of the toxins that we ingest come through our air. And so if we want to decrease our toxic load, the immediate solution is an air purifier. There are a couple that I like. I recommend, and from my holistic practitioner, she also recommends, make sure that you get an air purifier with a HEPA filter. The HEPA filter is like the extra step that gets out, from my understanding, like mycotoxins, mold, other stuff that other air purifiers are not able to get out of the air. And so these are just the mother of air purifiers, the HEPA filter ones. I have 2 air filters in my home, one in my bedroom. Our son still sleeps in there with us. And then one in our living room area that's larger, that covers a bigger square footage. I have a Jasper. It's spelled Jaspr. And I will give you guys a code for that. Do I have one? Yes. Oh my gosh. Beckon gets you $200 off. A full $200 off, code Beckon, Beckon. And then I also have an Air Doctor purifier, which is a company that's been around for a long time. Both filter the air beautifully. But you know me, I love interior design. The Jasper is just more aesthetically pleasing and it covers a bigger area, square footage. So I prefer the Jasper, though I love the Air Doctor. It's served us well and will continue to do so. If I could only pick one, it would be the Jasper, though. Another great thing about the Jasper is you don't have to change out the air filter as often. So it's a little less maintenance than the Air Doctor, though the Air Doctor isn't a ton of maintenance either. All right, so that's the first tip is get an air purifier and purify your air. I was listening, I don't know if I was listening to a podcast or reading an article recently, but it talked about, for people who live near a golf course, and again, I don't want to fearmonger here, but their chances of getting Parkinson's goes way up because of the toxins used on golf courses. So again, we want to be mindful. We don't want to live in fear, but we want to be mindful and set ourselves up for success and help our systems that are already overloaded by all kinds of toxic things in our environment and in our country. We want to decrease the stress on our systems. So, air purifiers are amazing. If you cannot manage to get an air purifier right now, totally get it. My second tip is to open your windows and doors as often as possible. In the summer here in Arizona, that's kind of impossible unless you want to let go of all of your very needed air conditioning. But the beautiful thing about opening windows and doors is that it naturally circulates and purifies the air for us. If you live near a golf course, if you live near some kind of processing plant, etc., I would recommend that you don't do this because you could potentially be letting more toxins into your air. But if you live in an area that isn't super close to those things, then I highly recommend opening windows and doors. It's good for your system. It's good for your mental health, all of the things, and it's cheaper than an air purifier. So that is a very easy way to get in some fresh air, let it move around, just like breathing a breath of fresh air, your house needs to breathe too. So open the windows and doors. Tip number 3 is swap out your cleaning products for non-toxic ones. I mean, it's 2025, guys. I'm sure you have heard of this. I am not reinventing the wheel here, but especially as a mother and a mother who is going to give birth to another child very soon, I want to make sure that my kids, as they're running barefoot or licking the floors as babies do, are not exposed to super harmful toxic chemicals. I also want to make sure that I'm not exposed to toxic chemicals that can affect my endocrine system and my hormones and my Hashimoto's and all of the things. Again, this isn't about being perfect. This is about decreasing our toxic load in a way that makes sense for us. You don't have to do everything all at once. It can be a step-by-step process. But a very, very easy way to do this is by swapping out your cleaning products from traditional ones that are full of toxic chemicals to gentler ones. And I have several suggestions. One is Branch Basics. There's so many people talking about Branch Basics now. It's now available at Target. This is a solution that you dilute into different bottles in different ratios. You can use it for all-purpose cleaning, glass and mirrors. You can use it for heavy-duty bathroom stuff. You just switch the ratio out and these bottles tell you how to do it. It's very easy, it's affordable, and it's completely non-toxic. So it's safe for you, it's safe for your family, it's safe for your pets, it's safe for the air that you breathe. I do have a discount from them. It's code BECKON for 15% off, BECKON. And again, I'll put all this stuff in the show notes, but highly recommend Branch Basics. I think they do a great job, and the cleaning solution actually really does work and work well. I've also used a brand called Supernatural. It smells amazing, like unbelievably good, and it's all from essential oils, so they're safe to breathe. The reason I recommend Branch Basics more is cost-wise, it costs a little less. And then with Supernatural, it is a little bit pricier, a little bit harder to find. You have to order it online. But if you are somebody that enjoys cleaning and really appreciates beautiful essential oils, Supernatural is a great brand for you to try out. If you are interested in additional cleaning supplies, my Amazon store is full of them. I can link that as well. But I think if you Google like Jaclyn Steel Amazon store or something like that, it should pop up. I should probably know what that's called. But I don't. But I have all kinds of different suggestions in there. I also like Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. I use that for all kinds of things, including my marble counters. I just dilute it really, really well. And it keeps my counters clean and doesn't etch them or damage them in any way. All right, next thing for making your home healthier, tip number 4 is invest in remineralized drinking water. Speaking of which, talking this much makes me thirsty. But remineralized drinking water, here is why. In our modern world, and I don't know all of the scientific ins and outs of this, but the water that we're getting out of our tap is full of stuff, including fluoride, which I know this has been controversial over the last few months, but fluoride is not good for you to be ingesting regularly. It's especially not good for developing brains in young children. And so we get these purifiers, right? That take tap water or whatever kind of water, purify them, distill them down. The problem is the way God created water is with a bunch of minerals to nourish our bodies. How divine, right? Well, because we've added so many toxins in the water, now we're taking those toxins out, but there are no minerals left. And we need the minerals to be healthy and to thrive. And so I highly recommend remineralizing your water. There are several ways you can do this. You can buy minerals, put a little squirt in your water. You can also buy an under-counter system, which is what I have. It's called a reverse osmosis system, and it remineralizes the water. And so it takes out all the toxins and then injects minerals back in. So you are getting this full of life, amazing water. I use a brand called Frizz Life, Frizzlife, and I got the 500 GPD tank reverse osmosis water system with alkaline and remineralization. It's great. There are a ton of other units on the market. This has worked really well for my family. The water tastes amazing, and I love cooking with it, drinking it, all of the things. So that's worked really well for us. But if you find another one, do another one. I would say a bonus tip to this is structuring your water. So not only are you doing the reverse osmosis and getting all the toxins out and then remineralizing it, but structuring your water is also a really cool way to allow your body to assimilate that water and take it in even more readily and easily. You can look at the science behind this in my podcast Self-Worth, which is on this same feed. Episodes 92 and 93 are all about water and structuring water and how incredible it is. But basically, it changes the molecular consistency of it and makes it highly usable in the human body. I have personally a natural action unit, and I can link this as well. I use it every day. I've had it 4.5 years. It's incredible, and it sits on my countertop. And again, I use it multiple times a day. I am an affiliate for Natural Action that sells these water restructuring units. And my code is Jaclyn-10 for anything under $1,500. And then anything over $1,500 is Jaclyn-20. But the unit that I have is around $300. And again, I've had it for over 4 years. So you can do the math on that on the daily. All right. Next thing also has to do with water. Tip number 5 is investing in filtered bathing water. In Arizona, we live in the desert. Our water is notoriously hard. It's got calcium in it. It's got all of these things. And when we moved to Arizona, I noticed that my skin, I started to get some acne, which I haven't really had in my adult life, especially since I started eating better. but the water was stripping my face. And then in addition, my hair got really dry. Um, and not only did it get dry, but there was this like buildup. You know, when you can feel there's something on your hair and it just does not feel right? That's what happened. And then I wisened up and I got a Jolie water filter. This is a beautiful shower head. I got it in gold because I have raw brass fixtures in my shower or in our showers, but it filters your water as it's coming out. So you don't have to invest in a whole house system, which would be awesome, but I just don't have that in my budget at this moment to get a big whole house system. And so this is, I don't know, $150, something like that. And it filters the water as you are showering. I highly recommend it. I've had mine for 4 to 6 months now. And I definitely feel a difference in my hair, a huge difference in my hair. Also feel a difference on my skin. My skin isn't quite as dry and itchy. I do have a code for Jolie. Um, Actually, no, I don't. No, I don't. I just have a link, which I will put in the show notes. I can't remember it offhand, but I'll put that link in the show notes. Canopy is another great resource. They sell humidifiers that are amazing. They don't mist the air, it just like gets absorbed into the air. And so they don't have as much mold problems and mildew and all of that stuff that traditional humidifiers have. But Canopy also has a shower filter. I have not purchased it myself, but I have heard great things. I do have two of their humidifiers. And I also saw recently that they have a hand shower option, which I plan on getting because my bathtub right now doesn't have a filter on it, but it does have a hand shower. And when I wash my hair in the shower or in the bath, I want to make sure I'm getting that filtered water as well so I don't get that buildup and that dryness again. So Canopy is amazing. I'll put that in the show notes as well. I do have a code for them because I've used their humidifiers. It's Jaclyn Steel for 10% off. My full Jaclyn Steel for 10% off. All right, tip number 6, swap out your sheets for natural fibers. Our bodies heal while we are sleeping. That's why we put on our heaviest, most nourishing night creams at night, right? Because that's when our skin is healing, it's rejuvenating, it's renewing. Our bodies do the same thing, and our skin is our largest organ. And so I would highly recommend you get sheets, and this does not have to be a huge expense, that are made of natural fibers. So think cotton, organic cotton, think linen, these natural, ancient fabrics that do not leach chemicals or any kind of harmful substances into our skin as we sleep. And here in Arizona, it's hot. And so often my whole family sleeps with very little clothing on. That may be TMI for you guys, but it's hot and it's just more comfortable to be in your sheets with very little clothing on. And so we have invested in really clean, natural bedding. Packed has amazing organic sheets. Those are fantastic. I think I do have, I don't know if I have a code from Packed. Maybe I don't. I used to. I'll look into that and put it in the show notes if I do so you guys can get a discount. I also absolutely love the linen bedding from Quince. That's what we're using right now. We have the duvet cover, we have the sheet sets, we have two of the sheet sets. They are soft, they wear well over time, they have beautiful colors to choose from. Highly recommend the linen sets from Quince also has some great organic clothing, cotton and linen, cashmere, all kinds of stuff that in very affordable prices. So, yeah, that would be my next tip. Invest in natural fibers while you're sleeping. Tip number 7 is EMF protection. This is a newer topic. I think I first started learning about EMFs around 2020, but EMF stands for electromagnetic frequency. And essentially, electromagnetic field, but it's produced by electrical appliances, which we all have in our homes, Wi Fi, which pretty much all of us have in our phones, cell phones, power lines, etc. Even the earth carries EMFs. However, the frequency of the EMF matters. And it has been found that low frequency EMFs, like the ones that come from Wi Fi and cell towers and cell phones, can be extremely harmful to our health. The World Health Organization considers them to be potentially carcinogenic, which is very dangerous. And so I love the Somavedic. It is a device, and I'm actually looking at it right now. I keep it in my library dining room. It structures water as well, as a side note, but it protects your whole home from those low frequency EMFs. I purchased this shortly after my son was born. I plugged it in, and no joke, it was the first night that he slept through the night. Some of us are more sensitive to EMFs than others. You've, I'm sure, heard stories of people who are like, I can feel the Wi Fi in here. We have to turn it off or I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm not that sensitive to them, but I do notice a difference having this in my house. There's something very peaceful about it. And I like knowing that it is adding that extra layer of protection, adding that little bit extra um, that my system does not have to detox from, right? So if it's protecting me from these EMFs, my system doesn't have to get rid of them. Really like it. I do have a code for Somavedic, and I'll put this in the show notes, but it's Beckon for 15% off. Now, these are a bit of an investment. I think they're in between like $700 and $1,000. And if that's beyond your means right now, totally get it. I've been there. If that's the case, then I highly recommend wearing wearables because there are wearable EMF protection devices now. Um, I have used Conscious Copper for the last 3 years. I love them. I do have a code for them. It's Beckon10, Beckon 10. I'll put that in the show notes. But I have a necklace, I have a bracelet, and then I also have a cell phone device. It plugs into the bottom of my cell phone, but now they have stickers that you can put on the back of your cell phone, which is probably a little bit easier. But it blocks those harmful low frequency EMFs from your cell phone too. So it's safer for you to carry your cell phone and be on it. I think that these are an investment that I would recommend to anyone. And the great thing about it is, like, if you wear necklaces regularly, get the necklace. If you'd rather have a bracelet, you can get the bracelet. I think they even have rings you can wear. And I want to say it's about an 8-foot radius of protection. Definitely recommend wearing those on airplanes or anytime you're in public, crowded places because the EMF load is just very high in those places. Okay, number 8. Don't buy chemical laden household goods. What do I mean by this? Well, number 8 requires absolutely no investment, and it may actually save you money so that because you may avoid purchasing chemical laden household goods. And what do I mean by that? I mean furniture, blankets, rugs, poofs, mattresses, air fresheners, dryer sheets, etc., that are made of synthetic fibers, plastics, particle boards, and that have been treated with coatings that help them block stains. Those are not good for you. I know they're convenient, but they're so bad for you. And I hate to burst anyone's bubble, including mine, but these items off gas as well. And so they put put bad stuff into our air, which is also why we need air purifiers. But mattresses are notorious for off-gassing. And if you think about it, we're sleeping on them for 8 hours a night, breathing in this air that's bad for us. I don't have a code for avocado mattresses, but that is what we use. If you guys are interested, I got it for my son. I got it for us. And then we got the mattress topper from Avocado. We have their pillows. Our guest room has the avocado mattress and the avocado pillows. It's completely organic. They don't off gas. They're made of natural fibers. They're comfortable. That's worked really well for us. As far as furniture goes, you know, depending on your budget, it is what it is, but just be mindful that if you bring in something with synthetic fabric on it, it's going to off gas, it's going to have some nastiness in it. So maybe don't touch it for a while, maybe don't stand by it for a while, maybe don't like rub your skin into it for a while until that off gassing stops. I don't know how long that takes exactly, but if you can avoid buying synthetic materials or chemically laden materials like non-stain stuff. I know it's so hard, especially when you have kids, but it's just not it's not what's best for us. If you already have those things, don't worry about it. It is what it is. Just be mindful and maybe get an air purifier.
This episode of The Freak Show is brought to you by the Freak app, your pocket best friend for calibrating your mind and shifting your mindset. If you are ready to transform the way you think about yourself and your life, then you are definitely going to want to get your hands on the Freak app. It combines uplifting audio messages with specific frequencies designed to reprogram your mindset and transform your thoughts. With our custom calibrations, that's what we call these audio messages, you'll discover how healing your thoughts can reshape your life for the better. Whether you're seeking stress relief, motivation, or emotional healing, or any array of high-frequency emotional states, the Freak app offers tailored support organized by frequency and by activity. By frequency, for instance, we have joy, abundance, serenity, self-love, self-worth. By activity, we have walking, cooking, cleaning, legs up the wall, cold plunging, and about 20 other different categories. This app is not just about helping you to feel good. It's about empowering you to live at the highest frequency daily. I created it because I wanted something that would help me shift my mindset easily and quickly whenever I need it. The empowering audio messages are amazing, if I say so myself. But what really takes them to the next level is the frequency chosen for each message. Our bodies are made primarily of water, and frequency affects water, literally. And so when you listen to these messages, not only is it helping you reprogram your thoughts by bringing awareness to them, it's also shifting the frequency in your physical being. We also have incredible plans for the Freak app. We want to do a sleep series so you can listen to frequency while you sleep and sleep deeper and better. We want to do a breathwork series where we bring in breathwork and teach you how to do breathwork combined with frequency. We want to do a series for children, helping them understand and deal with their emotions. So we have a bunch of calibrations already in the app, but our plans for expansion are enormous. We have a 5-day free trial. You can get it anywhere apps are sold, whether that's on the Apple App Store or Android. It's available everywhere. For a very easy way to download it, go to thefreakapp.com and there are links right in there. And that's THEFREQAPP.com, thefreakapp.com. And you can get all of the information there. Sam and I have put our hearts and souls into this app. We cannot wait for you to get your ears and eyes on it and give us all of your feedback. Thank you, thank you, thank you in advance for trying it out. And we hope it will be as transformative for you as it has been for us. Live on purpose and live on frequency.
Number 9, use diatomaceous earth to keep your home pest free. So if you're new to this way of thinking, you may not know that pest control and the pesticides that they use are actually very, very bad for us. In Arizona, we do have critter problems. We have scorpions here, and so I understand why people spray in and around their homes. but it's not good for you. I remember at our former house, we had a black widow and I freaked out and I was like, we've got to get pest control here. And so I found a company that I thought was non-toxic. I asked them, I was like, is this safe for children and pets and blah, blah, blah. And is it non-toxic? Blah, blah, blah. They came and sprayed outside my home and then came and sprayed very quickly inside my home. Within 10 minutes, I had a roaring headache. Roaring. It was horrible. And I am not someone who gets headaches regularly. That's very, very rare for me. So I knew something was wrong. And I was like, what did I do? I have pets in here and I have a baby. And it's probably better than being bit by a black widow, but it was toxic. It was absolutely toxic and it was immediate. My brother has also had the same reaction after his apartment was sprayed, had horrible stomach ache. I think he vomited, got super, super sick. So these things are toxic and we have to be mindful of that. But diatomaceous earth is a miracle product. And guess what? It is like $10 on Amazon. I think I have it in my Amazon store. Can't remember, but it is incredibly effective. It's a little white powder. It's made from, let me look in my notes. It's something from the ocean. Let me see. It's called freshwater diatomaceous earth. Can't remember what it's made from. But essentially, what it does is it's these tiny little white particles and they scratch the exoskeleton of the pest, and then the pest dehydrates and dies. But it's all without chemicals. You can literally eat diatomaceous earth. And if you have any kind of intestinal issues or parasite issues, diatomaceous earth is actually very effective for getting those out. Just make sure you buy the food grade diatomaceous earth. I'm going to tell you a story now that is, some would consider extremely shameful. But many years ago, it's been almost a decade now, so thank you, Lord, that we don't have this problem anymore. But Sam and I, about 10 years ago, discovered we had bed bugs. It was horrifying. It felt like such a violation in our room while we were sleeping. It was horrendous. We had just gotten back from a trip to New York City, and New York City was going through an infestation of bed bugs at that time. We could have picked it up on the subway, could have been from our hotel, anywhere. They are notoriously transmittable, right? But also, Sam was rehabbing some really dilapidated homes, like hoarder homes that you walk in and the fleas start biting your ankles because it's so infested. So he could have potentially brought them home too. Either way, whether it was New York City or one of these dilapidated homes, we got bed bugs. It was such a violation. Such a violation. It was horrible. And we immediately went to Walmart or Target or wherever and got the bed bug chemical spray. We sprayed it everywhere we had found them. Blah, blah, blah. Thought we got rid of them. Within a couple of weeks, we saw them again. And we were like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to call a pest control thing. We're going to have to tent our house. We're going to have to fumigate, all of the things. And it was at the time $5,000. And 10 years ago, Sam and I did not have an extra $5,000 to fumigate our home. So we were like, what do we do? It's not like we can live with the bed bugs. This is horrifying. I can't sleep because I'm afraid every feeling I have, I'm being bit, right? So it was horrendous. So I went on a deep dive in the internet and I found that somebody said, you can get rid of bed bugs effectively and completely with diatomaceous earth. And my mind was blown. I had used diatomaceous earth as a flea repellent on my dogs and it worked perfectly, and a tick repellent. But I didn't think to do it in my home as pest control. So what we did was we bought this $10 to $15 bag of diatomaceous earth. We rubbed it into all of our furniture. We put it on our rugs and we left it there. Was our house a little dusty? Yes. How long did we leave it there? Several weeks, because the life cycle of bed bugs is like disgusting. They make tons and tons of little bed bug children, and they come back up right when you think that they're going to be gone. And I will say this, the first bed bug treatment we did with diatomaceous earth, we did not see a bed bug at all. Still, just to be safe, because they are notoriously hard to get rid of, after a couple of weeks, we vacuumed everything up, cleaned everything, and then did another treatment. And we have, knock on wood, never seen one since. So we did the chemical thing. We didn't do the professional chemical thing, but I've heard that that is not very effective either. But we did use that $10 to $15 bag of diatomaceous earth and got rid of them. It was amazing. So highly recommend diatomaceous earth for all of your pest control problems. We've had fire ants in our backyard, got rid of them. Other things that we used to have in Georgia, like cockroaches and things like that. You know, in the South, all kinds of critters come out. Same thing in Arizona, but in the South, we had stink bugs and all kinds of stuff, and the diatomaceous earth got rid of all of them. All right. Tip number 10. We're getting to the end, guys. I know this is a longer episode. It's full, chock full of information, but number 10, this is free. Free. Ditch synthetic fragrances, including synthetic candles, which I know. Oh, it's painful, right? I love things that smell good. And I love it when you light a candle and it throws scent in your room and the whole thing smells amazing, but that's generally not very good for us. So I would say, if you can, ditch them. And in their place, I do have a couple of alternatives. I love diffusers. You take some water and some essential oils and you diffuse them. Safe essential oils, meaning 100% pure and preferably organic. But you diffuse them throughout your home and it makes your home smell amazing. It also humidifies your air a little bit and gets rid of any kind of synthetic fragrance need when you want to have some fragrance in your home. Another alternative to using synthetic fragrance candles is using a candle like the Skinny Confidential. It's a eucalyptus candle and it uses only eucalyptus oil and I think coconut wax. There are other great brands too. One of them is, shoot, I forget it off the top of my head, but you can search non-toxic chemicals and you want to make sure when you look at the ingredients that they're using essential oils and either beeswax or coconut wax, or soy wax. Any kind of other wax can contain parabens and all kinds of other nastiness. So, yes, those are my recommendations and swaps. You can, actually, I have some in my Amazon store too, if you want to check those out. And then as far as essential oils go, I have several brands that I use regularly. One of them is doTERRA. Young Living makes good stuff. I just have bought doTERRA more in the past. Living Libations, one of my favorite brands in the world for skincare. They also have beautiful, beautiful essential oils. Mountain Rose Herbs and Eden Botanicals also have amazing high quality essential oils that you can diffuse or use wherever. You can even make them into little essential oil rollers with some coconut oil and use them as a perfume. Another alternative to perfumes or traditional perfumes is using essential oils. The Golden Secrets also has a beautiful roll-on essential oil perfume. It will make you smell lovely all day. Actually, maybe not all day, but for several hours. I find that with essential oils, they're very fragrant at first and then they fade, unlike traditional synthetic fragrances that are really not good for us and they're huge endocrine disruptors. They may last longer, but think about that. They're like soaking into your skin and soaking into your clothing, and that's not good for you. As far as non-toxic perfume goes, I do love the brand Henry Rose. I think I have a link for $10 off. I'll put it in the show notes. but they have beautiful scents that are completely non-toxic. And they're not like, I'm very particular with my sense of smell. I don't like anything that's too sweet or too florally or too woodsy or too like vanilla. That reminds me of being in 7th grade and spraying like vanilla body spray all over myself. I like things that are a little layered, that have a little depth, but not go overboard. And I also don't like anything that when you walk in the room, everybody smells you. That also has to do with how much you're putting on your body, but I like something that has a little bit of fragrance, if somebody hugs you, but it's not taking over. And Henry Rose does a great job of that. I have several of their scents. I love the Flora Carnivora for something a little floral. I like Windows Down for something more natural. And I like Menace, which has a little bit of depth. Um, Beautiful scents, non-toxic. I feel safe wearing them around other people and around babies, which is really important. Okay, tip number 11. We only have 2 more left. Tip number 11 is be aware of blue light and limit your exposure. Blue light is harmful to our eyes and our brains. It's found in fluorescent lights and electronic screens. It can cause eye irritation and it messes with our circadian rhythm, among other things. And so some experts say it's also addictive because of the biological reaction it creates in our brains. So while it's almost impossible to avoid all blue lights in our modern world, we can be mindful of them and mindful of their effects. I think blue light blocking screens are very effective. I like blue light blocking glasses if I'm going to be on my computer a long time. Um, I have blue light blocking screens on my iPad, which I'm using for my notes, on my laptop, on my cell phone, on my husband's cell phone, on my son's iPad. We use AccuShield, which has been great. I have it on my Amazon store. I can link that in the show notes. But they really help decrease the amount of blue light that you are ingesting on the daily. And I have found that that helps a lot. I don't have nearly as much eye strain as I normally would if I didn't have the blue light blocker. So we like the brand AccuShield. There are a million brands out there now. Choose whatever one you like. They're super cute blue light blocking glasses now as well. You can Google them and a million different options will come up. All right. Number 12, the last tip that I have for making your home healthier is play sacred frequencies to increase the vibration of your home. We talk a lot about frequency on the Freak Show. Freak stands for frequency. And I think that we are just now, as a culture, warming up to the power and the potential of frequencies. I saw a video last year and it was a frequency being played over somebody's tumor in their body, and the tumor was literally shrinking. So I think there's so much potential for these. But in short, our bodies are made of 70% water or something along those lines. And frequencies affect water. You can watch water next to frequencies and tones and see it vibrate, right? And so frequencies affect us or potentially affect us on a cellular level. And I think that playing healing frequencies in your home is just one more way to touch on that nervous system aspect, to go, hey, I'm home. I'm safe. I can relax and rejuvenate and restore. I can recalibrate. And so playing frequencies on a speaker, on your cell phone, whatever, is a really beautiful way and often free way to bring in another level of healing. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Freak app, which Sam and I created to recalibrate your energy, to touch all of that beautiful water in your body and raise the frequency of it. We have what we call calibrations. Some of them are just music, so some of them are just frequencies. accompanied with gorgeous instrumentals. And some of them are very pointed messages combined with frequencies. And so let's say you're just having a rough day and you need to reset. The Freak app is a perfect companion for you. Let's say you want to really set yourself up for the day and get into a high vibrational, high frequency mindset. The Freak app is your best friend. I call it my pocket best friend because it's exactly what I wanted that didn't exist on the market. And it was something that, I wanted to be able to have in my pocket or purse, open up and listen to something, whether it's 1 minute or 5 minutes or 25 minutes, and have it make me feel different. Have it help me really reset my energy, calibrate my energy. And so that's why we created the Freak app. You can access it on thefreakapp.com. It's spelled FREQ. You can also find it in the App Store on Apple or the Android App Store, whatever the equivalent is of that, and download it and check it out. We're still in the beginning stages of it, so that we're finding little hiccups in the tech part of it. But the actual calibrations were made with such love and intention. And we hired the most incredible frequency composer who put so much love into these frequency numbers that are combined with the audio messages or just frequency within the app. And it's really special and it's really unique. So I would highly recommend that you check it out. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode on 12 ways that you can make your home healthier. Again, do not live in fear. If you already have some harmful things in your home, then join the club. We all do. But we can always be empowered to make better decisions moving forward. And hopefully this will have given you several tips on little things and big things you can do to feel better in your home daily so your nervous system can relax. The question I want to leave you with is, what is one thing you could do today? Just one. One little swap, one little addition, one little deduction that you could do today to make your home healthier and raise the frequency of your beautiful, beautiful home. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you and hear you in the next episode. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to The Freak Show with Sam Thurmond and me, Jaclyn Steele Thurmond. We would love to connect with you via our website, beckonliving.com, and on social media.
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Beck and Living, and you can join our email list to receive uplifting messages, podcast and business updates, and discounts on high-frequency products just for our freaky community.
Cheers to high-frequency living.